on the east side of the parking lot. That was heavily utilized and continues to be even in COVID times, but by fueling trucks. So the fuel farm, they've got semi trucks that come in to refill the fuel farm. So that was heavily utilized by those trucks for years and years and years. It was in really poor shape. So we used that to actually do an asphalt overlay and rehab that entire road there. We also used relief funding to remove and restrike the main runway, the main runway 1634, and then we also did various taxiway markings. Those are huge costs that, again, truly we would not have been able to do. We would have struggled to find the money to take care of those outside, just because of the removal and replacement. You've got a huge cost associated with those, but it's necessary at times. Future years, as we discussed, relief funding will be used to offset the general operational expenditures, to be used for projects in the future. It's also, as I mentioned, Part 139 Class 1 airport is the same as your Denver's and Wichita's. So adhering to that highly regulatory environment is very costly. So most of what we have to do out on the airfield, people don't realize that. They see us as a small airport and don't realize the things that we have to do to comply with a very small staff, with a fraction of the budget, a fraction of the equipment.
With both grants, we can offset what would be considered normal operating expenditures.
Yes.
So when she says being strategic, our plan is to offset operating expenditures and put the CARES money, with the CARES money, both grants, and then that allows us to pad our reserves, which were severely.
I don't know the numbers, but the way I would look at it is the first grant should be used for capital improvements that this airport needs long-term. The second grant should be used for operating expenses, and yet we don't know the third grant. And you can use those operating expenses, I assume, and save your operating expenses that you
Right.
weren't there. Therefore, you don't have to expend your own money, your
Yes.
own revenue.
And we had if this was your personal savings, you would be ashamed of the money we had in the bank out here. So this allows us to put money in the bank.
Okay.
Yes.
And she will talk about some of
Which
the
can be
capital
used
stuff.
and the second grant can be used for operation costs later.
Yes.
Okay.